Hey guys, welcome back. It's time once again for the weekly installment of the Top 10, the hottest selling cards in Magic the Gathering this week, and that's from June 14th to the 21st of 2025. Can Final Fantasy really continue its avalanche of sales to take the spot? Check it out. Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly installment of the Top 10. I'm your host, MTG Moxman, and I'm showing you the hottest selling cards in Magic the Gathering this week. A reminder though, if you're buying any of these cards and you're using TCG Player, don't forget to use my affiliate link. It does help out the channel. It's in the description of the video. Now we're going to dive in and stop right away at the number 10 card. This is Summon the Titan. Not Attack on Titan, but I gotta appreciate the pun of how this all looks with an Atlas type character. It's pretty awesome, okay? We got some references going back to the day. Now, as the number 10 card, it has 2,800 sales this week, which is $4,032 of total sales action. Final Fantasy has a lot of strong showings this week, as you're going to see. Now, this card's only $1.44 per copy. This isn't like it's a heavy-hitting, really expensive card, but it does see a lot of play already, and it's probably likely going to for the foreseeable future. Even though it's losing value, that does mean players aren't willing to spend that 5 mana and try to get this onto the battlefield to do some crazy shenanigans. Now, as a 5 casting cost, milling cards, returning land cards, causing Tifa to go off, it can all be a great thing, okay? Until the end of turn, doing all this plus X stuff is just insane, but let's not forget there are ways of skipping some of these steps to make it happen even faster. Not to mention this thing's a 7/7 with reach and trample. Don't ignore stuff like this. It is epic to see where some of these cards are going to go. For $1, I would definitely buy this card. Now, our number 9 card. Oh, VV, however you guys want to tease me about mispronouncing this one. It's number 9 with 3,211 sales. But that means that we have $250,000 spent on one particular Magic card, and the interest in this card continues to grow. Do not ignore it. Even though it's spiking and going lower, it is still going to start slowly trending up as supply gets constrained. Only so many boxes are going to get opened. I would not trade away my copy of this card if you happen to own it. Now again, it's a 3 casting cost, easy to get in Modern as well as in Standard and of course in Commander. When we look at this card as a legendary creature wizard, the wizard little subtext there, very important for a lot of different deck construction ideas, and the overall abilities of this card really warrant a second look. A lot of people recognized its greatness, and I think they even understated it a little bit. This one's going to go a long way, and a lot of players are still buying this card. Now, when we go and take a look at our number 8 card this week, it's the Water Crystal. Now, when I see these cards, and you see them at 10, 20, 30 bucks on pre-order, we all know that's not where they're going to stay. But when this one kind of shifted down to around the $10, $9 mark, I thought maybe that'd be a sticking point for a while. It didn't make it that far. It's still trending down, and it's not going to hang on much longer before it probably goes to the sub $2 level, but that doesn't mean it's not playable. Let's remember the Water Crystal being able to reduce costs of stuff, being able to do secondary effects is a very important thing. And just because it had a weekly change right now and it's losing value, that's the glut hitting the market. That's so many cards pouring in that it just cannot be sustained in what's going on. They're saying there's too many copies out there. The price isn't going to stick to it. It's going to fall. Later on, we could see a different situation, but let's face it, it's a 4 casting cost. Yeah, your blue spells cost 1 less. Yes, if an opponent mills, so it's going to be good, really good in like mill decks and stuff. Each opponent mills cards equal, so you're going to mill your opponents out in Commander. If you see this thing, you're going to eliminate everybody, and you know what's going on already. It's a great card, though. So much fun. All right, guys, let's go over to our number 7 card this week, and it's Tifa Lockhart. This one continues to do really well as the price continues to shift down. We're not at 13 bucks like last week. It's going down. It had 3,385 sales. That's $28,000. Now, when you look at the difference in the sales volume as well as the price tag, this thing cannot protect itself. That's the biggest drawback to a card like this. Everyone's going to have an answer for it because of how decks are built nowadays. They're going to have 4 of something to deal with creatures, or they're just not looking at things correctly. And they know when they see this card, they have to kill it before it can hit it. Because if it hit it, you're dead. It's going to hit you. It's going to do all kinds of like giant growth, rage, and it's going to do all kinds of landfall effects. They're just going to wipe you out in a matter of seconds. It's a great card, but everyone is prepared for it. I've had no trouble picking this card off, and when I've used the card, people have picked mine off. The only time I've come out ahead is mid-game, which is kind of funny for a 2 casting cost. Still, $8 a card, great card. Great card. Now, Summon Bamut. All right, this is our next card, guys. $35, trending up. A lot of sales action, a lot of interest in the card. 3,780 sales, which puts this card at $132,000 of total sales action. Now, this one's a little more interesting in the sense that there's not as many copies for sale at the local level. It seems like a lot of these got cleared out about a week ago. As soon as the release date came, people picked up playsets of 4. I heard from several stores, and the stores don't have a lot of inventory right now because people are holding on to this particular card. There's a lot of reasons for that, the whole Eldrazi thing. Now, it's a 9 casting cost. It can destroy things for 2 turns, draw cards, and then, of course, you got the Mega Flare, and this thing's a flying 9/9, and it's a Saga Dragon. Don't forget that. It's a dragon, okay? And it's an enchantment creature. So this thing works with so many other cards from Vintage to Legacy to Reserve List, as well as Commander and Standard. We have a lot going on with this card, and players recognize it, and they're going to keep buying this card. Now, our next one, Summon Primal Odin. This one's a little bit of an oddity to me, and we'll talk about this. It's the number 5 card. It had a total sales of 4,987, which is a total of $9,187. Not bad for a card that's only $1.84. Now, what's going on with this card and why I find it quirky is the high casting cost, the massive loss of market share after its pre-order period was over, and who's using it, because I haven't actually played against this card yet. So let's take a closer look and see what we're talking about. This is a 6 casting cost. Destroy target creature an opponent controls is the level 1. Level 2, of course, we got this creature gains whenever it deals combat damage. That player loses the game, which is epic if you can make it go off. And then the last one, draw 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life. Now, I understand there's ideas with this card. If you can hit the opponent and get it through, that's amazing. That, to me, is not enough for this card to be something I'd go after, but its low cost means people are speculating, probably. Now, our next card is Midgar, City of Mako. This was on the list last week as well. Comes in at $2.25 per copy. And, of course, when we look at the number 4 card this week and we see the sales are at $5,050, that's pretty, that's high, okay? This is a big card still. That's $11,300 of total sales action. And when I look at cards like this, and especially land cycle cards, I want to know what's going on with them because some of these lands turn around so much that if I open one, I realize I probably shouldn't be selling it. Let's remember that Kamigawa and Neon Dynasty had some messed up lands that are really amazing, like Otawara, that didn't see sales for about a month. Now, when we're looking, though, at Midgar, City of Mako, what are we getting for our value here? For a couple of bucks, what are we getting? Well, it's a rare land. It's got the sorcery adventure of you may sacrifice an artifact or creature, and if you do, you draw 2 cards. That's amazing, okay? Then you can bring it in as a land later on from exile. This kind of gives you that dual purpose of maybe you're going to be using this to do some kind of landfall thing, or you're just desperate for a land, even if it comes into play tapped, and you got to draw the cards. A really good deal that's really cheap right now. Now, our next card is the Wind Crystal. This is number 3 this week, and as you can see, we got 6,540 sales with a total cost of $26,160. A lot of people seem to like these crystals, they're really into it right now. Now, the average price for this one is $4. So what are we getting for our money and what's going on with the market? Well, again, we have a surge and a whole popularity of all the crystals selling, but we're seeing them be sold as the value of the market is really inflated right now with so many copies readily available. This card's particular abilities as a 4 casting cost, 2 white, 2 other. I mean, the artwork looks really nice to me, but what are we getting? What are we going to do with this thing? Well, this legendary artifact makes your white spells cost, less, but if you would gain life, you gain twice that much life, okay? Creatures you control can also gain flying and lifelink. Remember that guy who flips your cards, the white-blue guy out there now? Every time you gain life, you mill a card. These kind of things can combo up and do a lot of fun stuff. I haven't seen anybody do it yet, but that doesn't mean that somebody's going to try it at least. Who knows if it'll work? Now, let's go and take a look at our next card. The Darkness Crystal. Universes Beyond, Final Fantasy. We're still all these Final Fantasy cards just surging into the market. We'll talk about this at the end, of course. Now, this one here's got 7,457 sales. That's $20,000 of sales action, but let's take a second to recognize just how crazy it is to see this high sales volume across the board for all these amazing Final Fantasy cards. Even though they're losing value, the sales are trending at a very quick, brisk pace that just makes you wonder how much the supply really is out there before it dries up. Like, how much can the system take before we see prices adjust? Now, again, forecasting costs, black spells are going to cost less, right? That's what the Darkness Crystal is going to do, like all the crystals we saw being sold. Now, If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it and you gain 2 life. Put target creature card exiled with the Darkness Crystal onto the battlefield under your control with 2 additional counters. The fact that this isn't sacrificed when you do it is just brutal for like destroy board wipes and then start just eliminating everything. It is crazy to me. I love it. Great card. Can't wait to see where this thing's going to go later on. But it's not number 1. Let's take a look at the number 1 card, and it's the Fire Crystal. That's right, guys. Crystals across the board. The Fire Crystal at $3.27 a copy takes the number 1 spot with 8,275 sales, which is $27,000 of total sales action. These crystal things are going crazy right now. Now, last week we had the extended version, the different artwork, which is totally awesome. This one's pretty nice too, but I mean, the full art looks so much better to me personally. This thing's still going down in value, but again, the value trending down means the sales are trending up. A lot of people are taking advantage of lower prices and getting in on this. So, forecasting cost for the Fire Crystal, like all the crystals. And when we look at this legendary artifact and we see what this thing's going to do for us, as we go down, you guys recognize people are going to find creatures you control have haste is all you needed to see as just a passive ability. Now, creating a token of some other creature you control and then sacrificing, it doesn't matter. If that thing triggers when it gets created and stuff, it is nuts to think where cards like this can go. Guys, that was your number 1 card. Now let's talk about what's going on in the market space. Right now, I would like to tell you that maybe Bloomburrow is going to get onto the list. You know, it's possible that something from Duskmorn is going to come around the corner. Maybe Outlaws of Thunder Junction. But that's not going to happen. That is not the market we're in right now. This market is 100% being curb stomped by Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is just ruling the roost, taking over and saying, this is my house right now. You can't come in and play unless you're playing with Final Fantasy. That's where the market's at. We see so many cards selling that are in Final Fantasy right now. It took an extra 4 hours just to compile everything and get it together for today's video, to be as accurate as I could with these sales. Now, when we look at the overall market trends, we can see that everything right now is geared toward trying these cards out, but not just in standard, guys. We're talking about everything that they think it can be played in. Players are experimenting, and as you guys know, a lot of players like to have the real deal, even when they're play testing. They're willing to buy play sets of 4 for $8 because it's cheap to get them right now. It's inexpensive because there's so much in the market. Now, the question will be, is it going to stay that way? Are we going to have cheap cards for a while? Or we're going to see the market start drying up as we get ready for a set like Edge of Eternities. Some hot cards came out that caught people's attention. Is that going to turn it enough that the sales lag behind and maybe a card like Bloomburrow can slip onto the list? I don't think it can. Not with the numbers we're seeing right now. And if the prices continue to go down, you're going to see more sales of a whole bunch of these cards because we know and we've seen the results of sets like Final Fantasy up against something like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings showed what happened to the scroll cards, right? We had multiple buyouts, all kinds of crazy stuff going on in the market, and that's going to result in a lot of speculation, a lot of up and down prices. People are preparing for that right now. Speculators and players alike are buying cards when they're cheap from Final Fantasy, hoarding them, holding on to them, and just waiting to see what comes out later, because let's face it, with the colorless cards we've seen from Edge of Eternities, the Cruel Tyrant, we know that we're going to get more stuff. We know it's probably headed to Eldrazi, and I'll cover this in a later video on Monday, but it's pretty crazy stuff right now. So, that's the market. That's where we're at. That was your dump. That's the top 10. The number 1 was the Fire Crystal. Who knows what will happen next week, but I will be here to share it with you. I'll be here to tell you what's going on, and it's going to be an epic time. Guys, thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for being here on the channel. Now, go ahead. Go play some Magic. Have a good time. Let me know how you did in the comment section, and what cards are you buying right now? Share it with us. Let us know the words of wisdom from everyone out there. See you again. Hey guys, welcome back. You're here at the end of the video. This is almost like the Ramble Jamble Light. We're not quite there yet. My brain is percolating, but this is the moment where you say thank you. That's right. We never forget to say it because saying thank you lets us know and honor the people who are on my Patreon, the people who support me every day, all those YouTube membership members out there. Guys, thank you again. We need more of you, but thanks again for being there. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here right now. See you tomorrow. The sales were so high. High. It took a long time, guys. I'm going to be honest. It took a long time to count all those cards. Okay? And it was worth it. It was worth it. The summon the Bamut card, the fact that stores are like, we don't have any. We have it on wish list. People are looking for this card. I'm going, yeah. Because when you put that thing with Ugin and you're destroying multiple targets, and you put like Burnished Heart and stuff, you know, to get more things going and all these low casting costs. And this is just off topic this is just between us. Yeah. Let's also recognize that they gave us a 3 casting cost planeswalker who's colorless, who can go looking for 1 casting cost artifacts, that whoever he does, right? 1 or less, which means he can go looking for Moxen. He can go looking for them, which you may not care about, except for if he can get mana rocks out, that helps Eldrazi decks, right? Like he can go looking for, I don't know, a Soul Ring. I'm just saying. It's a bent world out there. We're in Mad Max Thunderdome, and I can't wait to see if I can get my hands on the chainsaw. Remember that in Duskmourn? They gave us the chainsaw. I know I'm off topic. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a great set. I'm getting hyped. The box price I'm not happy about. They're adjusting too quickly, but I like it. Guys, see you soon. I'm going to put this coffee down. I'm going to go do things over there, cleaning and such. Yeah, I'm going to clean. I'm going to vacuum. Clean the toilet. Am I? Is it my day? Yeah, it's my day. That's all right. Where's Mini Mox? He can do it. Little Mox? Yeah.